I was summoned to the front office along with several co-workers, forepersons, and supervisors. When we arrived at the conference room, nobody knew why we were there. The plant manager, quality control manager, and vice president of operations entered and asked us to sit and listen. A customer had informed the bakery that it was canceling orders starting that day. The reason was stale bread. The product was not reaching its printed expiration date. At least 1,000 pounds of spoiled bread had been thrown away the previous day. The problem had been ongoing for 30 days. It began subtly and had become progressively worse. The quality control department had investigated and found no answers. Management had conducted their own investigation. Also, no answers. 3 teams of production floor workers were being assembled to assist. We had been selected. I was assigned to Group C, 6 people. 4 production workers, 1 sanitation worker, and 1 maintenance worker. Our starting point was the packaging area. The production area was separated from the rest of the plant by a sanitary wall structure with its own ventilation system, dust collection, and fire protection. Access points were warehouse traffic doors at the mixing and oven areas. The packaging area used transparent strip curtains, 3-inch strips, roughly 7 feet high and 8 feet wide. Those curtains were our team's first suspicion. They had been changed recently and tested negative by QC, but we swabbed them again and submitted the sample. QC came back immediately, already tested, already ruled out. We returned to the floor and continued. By the end of the week, we had submitted 50 swab samples to the quality control laboratory. Every single one came back negative. We were working 12-hour days. For every negative result, our determination increased, but so did the exhaustion. After a week of failures, the front office was losing patience. The business stakes were clear. A customer had already canceled orders. There were discussions about personnel changes due to the order reduction. It was the final day of our investigation. I want to be straightforward about what happened next, because it was not a dramatic moment, it was a quiet one. The kind that only comes after you have been looking so hard for so long that you finally stop searching and start seeing. I pushed through the traffic doors to enter the production area, the same way I had pushed through them dozens of times that week. This time I noticed something. The doors did not swing back. They stayed slightly open. They were being pulled inward. I brought this to the team's attention. One of the production workers said, "We already swabbed the doors and they came back negative. Why are we back here?" I understood exactly where she was coming from. A week of 12-hour days and 50 negative results leaves very little patience for revisiting what has already been ruled out. I told her and I told the rest of the group to look not at the condition of the doors, but at how they were moving. And then I showed them. Their eyes widened. We walked outside the production area to the remainder of the plant. Beyond the production zone, there was a roll-up door, open and unattended. On the other side were the outdoor break area and picnic tables. Next to those tables were 13-gallon trash cans without lids. The ventilation system's negative pressure was drawing air from that outdoor area through the open roll-up door, across the length of the plant, through the forklift doors, and into the production area. We swabbed the picnic tables and the trash cans and submitted the samples to quality control. Within an hour, QC confirmed it. The source of the contamination was that outdoor area. The negative pressure of the ventilation system, the traffic doors that would not stay closed, and an open roll-up door had created a pathway from an outdoor break area directly into bread production. The maintenance manager was informed of the finding. Within 2 weeks, the ventilation system was converted from negative to positive pressure operation, so that air would flow outward from the production area rather than being drawn inward from the surrounding plant. The cost was several $100,000. I want to note something about this investigation that I did not learn until afterward. Management had conducted their own investigation before the 3 floor teams were assembled. They had gone through the same process, the same facility, the same access points, the same doors. They did not identify the source either. The answer was walked past by everyone, experienced managers, quality control professionals, and production floor teams for 30 days. The customer eventually returned, and the business relationship was restored. The source of contamination was present and visible every day for 30 days. It was walked past by quality control professionals, by management, and by a team of 6 people conducting a dedicated investigation, including me, until the final day. This was not a failure of expertise. Everyone involved was experienced and capable. It was a failure of observation, specifically the kind of observation that familiarity prevents. When we see something every day, we stop seeing it. We see what we expect to see. The discipline of looking at familiar things as if for the first time, asking not just whether something is clean or intact, but whether it is functioning the way it should, is what this channel is about. Every video on this channel is a real story from 40 years in commercial bakery maintenance, with the diagnostic thinking and the lesson that makes it useful beyond the specific situation. If that is useful to your operation, subscribe. New content every week. Free field reference covering 25 equipment failure points. Link in the description. Your maintenance team can use it directly.